Nintendo at this point needs to just go ahead and announce that the Switch 2 is coming, give us a release date, show what it looks like, because this is the world's worst kept secret, guys. At CES 2025, there's an accessory company by the name of Genki who allegedly has an accurate replica of the Nintendo Switch 2. There's video making the rounds on the internet right now, and this is interesting to have a piece of hardware on display that has not been announced officially by Nintendo in any capacity tells me we're really close. And if I had any kind of assumption or any kind of, I guess, guess here, I'd say a lot of units have already been manufactured. A lot of times when Nintendo comes out with stuff, it gets scalped. It's really hard to get, but I think Nintendo is not going to let us down this time. Let's pray. Let's don't hold our breath, but let's cross our fingers that Nintendo has plenty of manufactured units, plenty of manufactured Joy-Cons, and games on the way in a perfect world, right? Either way, regardless, we've been seeing lots of leaks come out on the internet, across Reddit, across Twitter, across different message boards, you name it. Just the other day, we saw a picture of the Joy-Con on the back of it and on the side of it of the brand new improved Joy-Con that supposedly has updated renovations on it, like magnetic mechanisms and bigger buttons on the side, as opposed to the smaller buttons that you had on the end of the Joy-Cons, and it was just kind of tiny. I have little hands. I don't know how you guys that have bigger hands deal with the Joy-Cons. I barely can play comfortably with them. Regardless of which, there wasn't enough improvement on the actual Joy-Cons for the Switch 2. I wanted it to look a little bit more comfortable, but if there's better motion controls and things like that, I'm all for it. I've kind of gotten burnt out on playing with my regular Switch. The Switch console has literally been here gathering dust since Tears of the Kingdom. I've been burnt out on Nintendo. I feel like they've been a step or two behind as far as being able to get these big third-party AAA games out there, and they just never really have a powerful enough rig. So when the specs initially came out for the Switch 2, I was a little let down. I was like, really? This is only like a PS4's power. Of course, Nintendo would be a console and a half behind at this point. But now that we're seeing replicas come out, now that we're seeing leaks come out, I'm starting to get that hype, right? We've been dealing with all these Nintendo Switch Pro rumors for years. I remember during the pandemic, we were over here hoping we'd get some kind of announcement of a Pro, but instead we got a Mini, and then on top of that, we got a OLED. But we haven't gotten the Pro. And for whatever reason, Nintendo is just twiddling their thumbs right now, waiting on an announcement. I speculated this the other day during my live stream. Do you think Nintendo is probably just not revealing this officially to get this hype going on? Maybe they're allowing accessory makers and other companies to quote unquote leak this information so that people will be getting excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. We're coming up like in a kind of, I guess, stalled period in gaming. It's after the holiday break. Not much is happening. Yeah, we'll get a decent release here or there, but as far as like big blockbuster announcements, we're in the dry spell right now. On top of that, Nintendo could probably want people to spend their Christmas money on Switch games and Nintendo Switches right now and get a little bit of a double dip on the honey pot. Because if they announced the Switch 2 before Christmas, nobody would have bought Switch units. Nobody would have bought Switch games. They would have just waited for the Switch 2 to come out. So when do I think this thing's going to come out? I think it's going to come out in March, like the Nintendo Switch did. I think this is going to come out in March. I think we're already in the end game. I think this thing is ready to ship out. There's probably a little storage area in their warehouses full of pallets of these. Is this game console still going to be getting scalped? You betcha. Of course it's going to be getting scalped. But I like what we see here. I like the sleek look. I like the white console look as well, too. I hope they come out like that. But the magnetic mechanism to get the Joy-Cons off, it just looks like it's so much easier than the rail-based thing that they had. I can't tell you how many times I've broke the rails on many Joy-Cons throughout the years of having the Nintendo Switch. And I'm going to be curious to see exactly what Nintendo's plan is as far as announcing this and revealing this. I don't think they're going to wait all the way to Summer of Games in June, usually when they have the big Nintendo Direct in June. I don't think they're going to wait that long. I think we're going to be getting something here sooner than later. I would probably venture to say February. I know we always speculate. You get all these Switch tubers are like, oh, February we'll have a Nintendo Direct, and everybody gets their hopes up, and everybody thinks that there's going to be huge Metroid reveals and huge Zelda reveals, and then we end up getting a whole bunch of weird JRPG games, a new Yoshi game, and a Kirby game, and they call it a day, right? Nintendo lets us get this high expectation because every console they come out with has a big banger launch, right? That launch window, the first year or two, amazing games, amazing stuff comes out, and then they kind of get in the middle, and then towards the end they kind of just lull out until they randomly come out with some huge fun games that are suddenly rare because the console's no longer supported. Like Devil's Third was pretty rare on the Wii U. So yeah, this is all but the world's worst kept secret at this point, guys. I don't know why Nintendo's taking so long. Maybe they're just wanting to get everything manufactured because they want this to actually sell. They don't want scalpers to take over and kind of, I guess, gatekeep everything and raise the prices up and sell them on eBay. In a perfect world, Nintendo would have their stuff together. We're not in a chip shortage anymore. There's no pandemic. There's no reason why consoles are in short supply. If anything, they might have their stuff together. And they might surprise us. This might be readily available. I remember going and getting the GameCube at the store, like literally walking in on launch date, and they had tons of GameCubes there. And there was still a long line of people trying to pick it up. I picked it up. I got 3 games with it. I walked and had some fun. So maybe the Switch 2 will be the same thing. That's wishful thinking, I know. But this console looks like it's going to be cool. And we really haven't even seen the dock. I know there was like an alleged dock leak the other day as well. We haven't really seen much as far as that. This is just the handheld version. I don't really play in handheld, so I'm curious to see what the dock and everything looks like on a docked set. I want to see the user interface. I want to see the menu to see how much they changed. On top of that, I want to see if we get a better eShop that's easier to search, navigate, that has more sales, more deals. And I want to see how games play on it. I really want to see, because we've had the specs. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not really knowledgeable and all that, but I want to see how this performs. I want to have one of these in my hands, and I want to feel what it's like, right? I mean, yeah, sure, rumors, leaks, and all that are interesting to look at and enjoy, but the fat lady hasn't sung yet, and Miyamoto, Mario, Nintendo, whoever's in charge over there at this point, hasn't officially come out, hasn't revealed anything. There hasn't been a trailer. There hasn't been any announcements. No reveal date, but I think it's so exciting that every day we're getting something brand new as far as Switch 2 leaks go, because this just means we're getting closer and closer. And I know some of you guys don't like the leak news and the rumor stuff, but how can you not feel the hype? How can you not feel the hype? Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.